Approaching the water, step number 3 of the 7 steps to sales excellence. This video was attempted a week ago as I had identified the fish that I was going after. Step number 1. I had been preparing for the catch. Step number 2. And as I was approaching the water about a week ago, I realized that I was not prepared as well as I should be, because walking across the dock, set loose a bunch of hornets, a swarm of hornets, and one of the hornets came at me. Well, not one, a swarm of hornets came at me. I fought them all off but one. One got me right there in the base of the nose, top of the lip, and the video had to be postponed as my lip swelled up, my nose swelled up. I was not looking good for a while, and I realized that sometimes when you approach the waters, there are some critters involved that just don't want you to have a successful fishing day. But I'm back out here today wanting to talk about step number 3 of the 7 steps to sales excellence, which is approaching the waters. Now, normally approaching the waters, you're using the phone, you're doing a walk-in, email, text messaging, whatever the mechanism is that you are going to be using, you have prepared for to catch the fish that you're going after in the marketplace. And sometimes as you approach the waters, things just don't go as planned. And that's literally what happened when the swarm of hornets came at me, and one got me, and man, it hurt and it was bad, and I swelled up and had to postpone this video. But you know, interestingly enough, it reminded me of a particular situation happened many years ago when I was approaching the waters, and I had been invited into a pest control company by a sales manager. Now, what I found out was, as I had prepared for the catch, what I'd found out was this was the 3rd sales manager that this particular pest control company had hired in about 18 months. So definitely got some turnover problems. That's something that I can help with in the relation to the sales team, the sales department. So it seemed like it was identified the fish, seems like it was clearly they had some issues. They definitely had some performance problems. They had the 3rd sales manager involved in the course of about 18 months. And when I walked into the office, I noticed that the president owner of this particular pest control company, his desk was on about a 4-inch platform. He probably stood about 6'5", 6'6". He had on a pair of cowboy boots. His desk and his chair were up on a 4-inch platform. And as I was introduced to him walking into the office by the sales manager, I was introduced, he pointed at me, literally pointed at me and said, "I don't even know why you're here. I hired him to take care of all my sales problems." And that is how I had to start the sales call. That's how I had to approach the waters. Now, I was face to face, so I did the only thing that I knew to do, and that was I walked up to his desk. I very gingerly and calmly put my hands on the front edge of his desk, looking up at him. You know, he's 6'6", I'm down. His desk is on a platform. I'm down on the main floor, right? And I looked up at him and I said, "So is the meeting over?" And I hesitated about that long, and then I followed that up with a statement and a question. "I'm sure you're pressed for time. I heard that you hired him to take care of all your sales problems. I just want to know if the meeting is over." Now, kind of tense, a little bit stressful. I was not as mature as I am now, maybe as a salesperson, but that's the only thing that I could think of in the form of a question to ask him based on how he received me as I approached the waters. He did not know how to answer that question. It kind of took him by surprise. And the interesting thing is, he sat down, I sat down, we had about a 15-minute conversation, and then I, the salesperson, the servant in the room, I made the decision that the sales call was over, because I realized he's not the kind of fish that I want to go after. Arrogant, cocky, obviously had problems, seemed like he was causing some big issues for the sales managers that he had hired, that he had ended up firing. This particular sales manager left the organization soon after I ended the sales call, within about a month. And about 2 months later, I get a call from the same sales manager who is now working for a pest control company in a different city. And he said, I like how you handled that call. When you approached his desk, you kind of took the air out of him a little bit with the question you asked, is the meeting over? And I like how you did that, and I wondered if you could come over and work with me on this particular team to help them have stronger sales calls when they are approaching the water. Now, the key when we're talking about approaching the water, the key is, honestly, we're going to learn how to use the phone. We're going to learn how to make a face-to-face sales call. We're going to learn how to do email correctly. You got to set up your cadence. You know, not every call is going to go the way you want it to go. Duh. I'm out fishing or trying to go fishing to record a video like this, and I get stung by a bunch of hornets right on the end of my nose almost. Not every fishing expedition goes the way you want to. But if you have done a really good job of step number 1, identifying the fish, and you've done a really good job of preparing for the call, including preparing your heart, then when somebody treats you a certain way as a salesperson, you get to make the call of whether or not they are the kind of fish that you want to serve, that you want to help. They had the problem. I had prepared. I walked in. I approached the waters by walking into his office. And yet, interestingly enough, after about a 15-minute conversation, I could tell right away there's no chance that I'm going to try to land this fish. I'm not even going to try to pull him in the boat. All right? So when we're talking about approaching the waters, are you prepared with some kind of a sales cadence? A sales cadence that is systematic, methodical, where you can combine your phone use, your face-to-face use, your email use. You can kind of combine all the activities that you need to use in order to try to land a fish, that you can actually combine that and approach the waters confidently, humbly, not arrogantly, not cocky, not fake. Approach the waters, because the question that I asked him was designed to get me into step number 4, which is go fishing. We're going to talk about step number 4 in the next video that I do. I just wanted to get back to this particular video, approaching the waters. It's actually pretty simple. It's not that difficult. You're using all the tools that you've learned how to use. By the way, one of the key elements in today's marketplace of approaching the waters is the combination of phone call, email, text messaging, any content marketing, anything like that, that is married to your CRM, your customer relationship management tool. By the way, most customer relationship management tools make it harder for the salesperson and the sales team to approach the water. I'm asking, as it relates to the 7 steps to sales excellence, do you have everything ready and everything prepared to approach the water? Right now, I'm sitting in my rowboat right here along the edge of this pond. I got some bait in the water, and I'm looking at my bobber bouncing just a little bit right now. Now, the fish has not completely taken the bait, but I have approached the water to go fishing. And we'll see what happens. Maybe as a follow-up to this video, I'll be able to show you a fish that I caught. Okay? But, reminder, when you're approaching the water as the salesperson, you can also determine not to continue the fishing expedition for the fish that you just encountered. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck, good selling, good fishing. God bless.